Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. We're at the TERRA greenhouses and we're featuring Scott's products today, and I'm here with Scott MacDonald.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us here, and we want to talk about some of the great technology. You guys really are just so innovative in your line, coming up with great things to kind of serve sort of the needs of your clients, and it's a constant need as we kind of realize we all have different soils and different things we have to deal with on a regular basis. So we're talking about grass seed right now, and coated grass seed in particular.
Yes. Yeah, so we're really excited about this. This is a brand new product for us. And it's really, I would say, the first real innovation that's been brought to the grass seed category. So what it is we take our premium grass seed, and the one thing I'd say up front is that a lot of consumers still have this perception that grass seed is grass seed.
Yes.
It's all the same. Buy the biggest, most affordable bag
bulk it
that I can find.
Put it out there. And
right, exactly. Yeah. But really you do need to spend a little bit more money and buy high quality grass seed. What that's going to give you is more pure grass seed, less weed seeds. The germination rate's going to be better. It'll be more tolerant to stresses, disease, all of those things. So it really is worthwhile to invest some extra money in the high quality grass seed.
And that's the thing, like some people, they really invest so much in their grass. It really means a lot to them, which is great, right? You know, that's what you want. You want your neighbors to worry about their lawns too, right?
Well, right, and you don't want to put in that time and effort and then have it all go for naught.
Exactly.
Right? So then the second thing is that coated grass seed, especially, and this is the new innovation I was talking about, is what we do is we wrap each seed in a super absorbent coating. That coating absorbs and holds twice as much water and holds it for twice as long as an uncoated seed does.
That's cool.
So then what you're doing, and the technology came out of research where we discovered that the #1 reason why people fail when they're planting grass seed is that they don't keep the seed moist through that germination phase. So that 2 to 3 week period, right? Which is really hard. I've done it, you know, you're gung-ho out of the gate, sort of. You water every day, and then as time goes by,
you start to lose the love a little, right? Because it's high maintenance at first, right? To keep it kind of going.
You get busy, you have other priorities, all those things.
Yeah.
So this water retaining ability will keep the seed moist better throughout the germination phase.
To help you along a little.
Exactly. So you can miss that day of watering. It still certainly has to be kept moist, but this is going to help alleviate that issue that most consumers have with grass seed.
Great.
So more successful, easier, and faster overall in terms of planting your grass seed. And I'm going to demonstrate it because there's a couple of neat things that we can show to prove the difference.
Okay.
So the first thing is that just by looking at the two of them, you can see.
Yeah, you can see the coat right there, right?
Whoops.
So that's okay. All right, so, and then of course this is the uncoated grass seed. Now you're going to put in, so what's going to happen when we put this in the water? What are we going to see with a coated grass seed?
Yeah, so you'll see that the uncoated grass seed will just float on top. It takes a long time to absorb water. So we'll do that one first.
And that's typical what someone would be familiar with seeing. It would just float.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see it floating on the top. And the coated grass seed from Scott's, as we put it in, you'll see it start to absorb water and rapidly sink to the bottom. So really, again, just demonstrating how it's absorbing water, and it will hold that water for a lot longer.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's great, but that's great for people to see. So again, it's all about absorption. Again, it's about retaining some of that moisture in your soil a little bit longer for you.
Yes.
Now you have different types for different scenarios for people, heat and drought, and again, obviously some with more shade, some with more sun.
Yes. Yeah, it's really important to pay attention to the conditions, your growing conditions, and the most important thing is how much sunlight you get, exposure you get in that area. So we've done a better job at communicating that to consumers right on the bag in terms of we're using a small sun icon right here on the bag, and it just shows that if you have a high amount of sun, you want to choose a mix that is more tolerant of sunny conditions, and the opposite end of the scale, of course, we have a dense shade mix for those areas where you have tree cover and you just don't get a lot of sunshine. Very good. Well, that's a very cool product. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk a little bit about, again, fertilizer itself, right? Yeah, so this is a brand new innovation for us. It's the Scotts Turf Builder Green Max brand. And what this is a premium fertilizer. And this is all about the amount of iron within the fertilizer. So we've taken our regular Scotts Turf Builder mix, and we've added 3 times the amount of iron in there. Iron is an essential element in terms of chlorophyll production, so that's what makes the grass really nice and green. That's what we want. We want green grass. That's right. That's what everybody wants. So this is really the product for a lawn enthusiast that their lawn's very important to them, and they want the greenest, best lawn out there. This is the product. Very good. And again, straightforward as you would use any other fertilizer, but it's just going to give you that extra. It has all the same qualities as regular Scotts Turf Builder, except for the increased iron. Very good.
That's good. Okay, and the problem. Sometimes we have those little pesky weeds. It doesn't matter what we do. Sometimes they appear.
Yes.
So you guys have an easier solution now for taking care of them.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago we launched the Scott's EcoSense Weed B Gone. That's a selective weed control to take care of all of your weeds in your lawns without harming your grass. Great product, it's been very successful, but up until this year we've only had a single-use type of applicator. So if you had a large weed infestation, you'd have to go around your whole lawn with the trigger sprayer and spray each one of those weeds, which is, as I say, quite hard,
tedious, right?
Quite hard for somebody has a lot of weeds. Yes. So this year we have concentrated versions. We have two formats. One is a ready-to-mix type format that you mix with a sprayer that dilutes it with water, so you can spray it over your entire lawn. And then secondly, this one, which is even easier, you just attach to your hose, turn the nozzle on, and spray and go. So again, you can cover a large area that has a lot of weeds in a much easier way.
So now with something like this, do you have to be careful what time of day you're putting something like this on your lawn in terms of the heat, the sun, things like that? Kind of like with the fertilizer, you have to kind of be careful, right? Yeah,
you do. It's you don't want to apply that weed control typically on those really hot days when it gets up into the 30 and above type Celsius
those scorching days.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Pay attention to how much rainfall you're going to get in in the next 24 hours, and typical with the weed control products that most people are used to. It's just paying attention to the the weather and the conditions of your lawn.
And basically applying as needed.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So very cool. Again, lots of really great ideas and great products. I like the coated seed idea. I think this is something that a lot of people, and you said this is brand new this year, right? The coated seed? It
is brand new, and we're excited too. As I said, we feel like it's the first real innovation that's been brought to grass seed. So again, grass seed just isn't grass seed. You do get what you pay for, and this is going to make growing grass seed a lot easier and more successful. Yeah,
I think that really helps people along to know that you just you don't want to go out and buy the street stuff. You want to make sure you're buying the good stuff, and and then you're going to really have the best product and the best lawn. And I know already in our neighborhood we have people that are just like people compete for the best lawn. So
that's right.
You got some guys and gals out there just doing their thing. So. You know what to buy. You know what to buy. All right, that's it for now. We're going to come back with more Terra at Home. We'll be back in just a few. Thanks. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Wow, Frank, what do you got, gophers or something?
No, I have dandelions. Terrible dandelions messing up my Saturday.
Yeah, looks bad. You really should use Weed B Gone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Scott's EcoSense Weed B Gone is made with the power of iron to get right inside the cell structure of weeds. They turn black, disappear, and your grass comes back green.
I sort of miss the holes.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Scott's EcoSense Weed B Gone, now available in a concentrate for large problem areas.
Heritage Perennials presents Terra's Perennial Pick of the Week. Leucanthemum sante is a new take on the classic Shasta daisy. It's sure to please with its double shaggy white petals, perfect for a sunny spot. Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. All right, we're having some fun here this morning. We're at Sinkink Tattoos up here on Upper James in the Hamilton Mountain, and we're here with owner Jeff Beckman. And well, we need to talk about tattooing. You've obviously old hat at this. You've been doing this for many, many years. You have a lot of employees, a lot of staff that work with you, friends, and just people that you rely on to bring out the best product for people. Which, again, we're talking permanent, so. Kind of important, right? Sure. So again, you've been in business since '94 in Hamilton. You've been doing your thing. People would know, of course, at one point you were in Hess Village for quite some time. But you have your Upper James location and your Parkdale location.
Yes, those are the only two we have.
Yeah,
right now,
very good. Okay, so you walk in here on Upper James, okay, say you're the first timer. You've never had a tattoo, because you have people coming in here that have 1 million tattoos and they kind of just do this all the time.
Sure.
First timer, what would you give? What kind of advice would you give to people? Like, where do you start with someone coming in and saying, okay, I want to get a tattoo?
I think nowadays it's changed a lot over the last 10 years. The TV shows that are on now and stuff.
Yes.
A lot of people have an idea of what they want.
That helps,
It's
right?
rare that someone comes in and just has no clue and they just want to get a tattoo.
I was going to say, usually it's
pretty
based
rare.
on something, right?
It
Does
still
it?
happens, yeah.
Like, really, I just want to mark my body, but I don't know with what.
Yeah, I'll pick something off the wall. So
really?
It's
blindfold
not
them,
as
spin them
common
around.
as it was, but yeah. It definitely
Well, I guess
still
it helps,
happens.
yeah, with some of the shows, as you're saying. That's kind of altered a lot of businesses, you know, because there's from, you know, you've got Dancing with the Stars, which has affected ballroom dancing. So you've got all those shows down there.
Yeah.
How does it affect your business? You find there are more people doing it?
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Is it?
On one hand, it's great. People are coming in, they know what a tattoo should look like now. They know what the process is because they've seen it on TV. Somewhat.
helps.
The TV shows are a little, you know, they're not
Entertainment.
right on par, but
Right?
yes, they're definitely
You're right.
entertainment first. But yeah, but they get a good idea of how the industry works from just not ever setting foot in a tattoo shop before.
Sure.
So now you got people coming in thinking they know everything.
Yeah,
and
you
they
got
haven't been in
that.
a tattoo shop before, but they've
Right.
seen it on TV.
Right.
And you know, so then you also get people thinking, well, I could do that, and they open a shop, buy something on eBay, a tattoo kit on eBay, and then
That's
they're
scary.
ready to roll. So
That's scary.
that is very
And that
scary.
affects your reputation too, right? Because, you know, overall, we don't want people thinking, you know, poorly of the tattoo business in general,
Sure.
right?
I mean,
So
it's a trade, and it's
yes,
you know, you
It's
really have to
skill.
respect
yeah,
the trade. That's all there is to it. You know, and there are people that are coming into it because of the shows, or because it's very easy and accessible to buy equipment now, whereas it was much harder even 10, 15 years ago. It's changed
to
so
get your
much,
hands
so.
on equipment. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you obviously have a great reputation in the city, which is great, and I mean all walks of life come into this building and get tattoos, and that's the thing because you're ranging from you know whatever may be something really far off the spectrum that someone's come up with, but to something as simple as a flower or a butterfly that some people just want the simple things, right?
Yeah.
But you're artists, so you will help someone if they have sort of an idea of what they're looking for, but they don't have the actual picture. You guys can draw that for them.
Oh, definitely. That's pretty much what we always
That's what
try
you
and do, right?
Yeah.
We always try and make the tattoo for that person. There's nothing worse than maybe being on a beach and seeing someone with the exact same tattoo as you.
No, and we'll talk about you don't want to be wearing the same, the same dress or same shirt at the party, but never mind a tattoo because that's permanent. That's your life, right? And usually a tattoo means a lot to somebody, right? There's usually quite an emotional tie to it.
Usually, some people are more. People are different. There's some people that just do not care. They just want stuff on them, and there's people that overanalyze everything. And there's definitely people that shouldn't have tattoos, and there's people that obviously have many tattoos and they don't put as much thought into it.
That's right. And
when you think about anything, if you think about what you put on in the morning too much, you're going to change 5 times.
Right.
So if you think way too much about your tattoo, and it's going to change my life, is it this, is it that? It's like
people get scared
it becomes
too
overwhelming,
about
and
commitment.
people become a little bit, even though they want one, and then they get a little nervous.
Get a little bit nervous about it.
Yeah,
so when someone's coming in to get a tattoo, obviously we're talking about the safety side of things, right? People, there's been people that have been scared over the years of what to, obviously you guys, take all of the measures to make sure it's safe.
It's
right?
one thing that the Ontario Health and the city, everyone's been really kind of coming down on tattooing very hard because it's getting more popular. So I mean, in one hand it's great, in the other hand it's
they're on you guys.
They're not bothering dentists, but they're killing us.
That's right. Yeah. So there are a lot of mandates, regulations on you guys. So they're checking you guys out, making sure you're
coming in and
doing.
And like I said, it's fine if we play by the rules and everything.
Right.
And if that makes another shop go to business because they're not doing what they need to do, then that makes it worth it. But at the same time, it's definitely sometimes I think this industry is looked at unfair. But
well, that's the thing, and that's the thing is with tattoos in general. A lot of people there are certain bias towards people who have tattoos. Sometimes it's still it's a funny little world, right? That we live in sometimes. But I mean, there are a lot of people walking around with tattoos that you would never know had one under their clothes, right?
It's not like it was. Like 10 years ago, even such a small time frame where it's opened up so much. But.
Sure. Now there are some people like Amanda that you're tattooing who have a lot of tattoos. Super cute girl, covered in tattoos, and you're doing an owl tattoo today.
Yeah, we're working on a lower calf kind of sleeve. It's an owl. Yeah.
Cool. All right, something like that. I've heard there's a process where sometimes you're coming in and out. It's not just one visit. You're coming back a few times. Does that still happen? Is that what you do?
Yeah. I mean, like anything. if you ever paint it or anything, everything takes time, right? So like this will be her 4th sit on this tattoo, so we're looking around the 12th hour.
Wow.
Now, so it's usually about 3-hour sessions is what people can usually deal with.
So that's the thing. So some people are the detail, right? It's the detailing behind it too, right? So if it's super detailed, it's going to take you more time.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're saying handle, so people can handle in terms of
some
just the intensity
can
of
handle,
it.
Some people cannot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It definitely is not. It hurts. It's you know, it's just something you got to get kind of in a zone and deal with. So.
Yeah, and so again, basically just being careful afterwards. Just quickly, some of the care that you would do for your tattoo.
Just really is less is more. That's when people overanalyze it and put too much into it. That's when they go wrong. You know.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's nothing. We always tell people it's really nothing more than a cat scratch on the surface of the skin. So you know, by taking way too many precautions like, you know, medicated ointments and all that. It's just unnecessary. It really will heal by itself in about, you know, 4 to 10 days. You know, pending you're not jumping in hot tubs and swimming and doing
staying out of the sun a little bit and
until it's healed. So
very good. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for
and again, it's Sinkink Tattoos, and I know you have a good reputation in the biz. So this is definitely a place for everybody to come. All right, it was awesome. All right, we'll be back with more Terra at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, back with Chef Rachel in the Terra kitchen, and I smell seafood.
Yes, we've got some fresh seafood. We're going to make, I call it mixed seafood, mixed fresh seafood in a herb tomato broth.
Nice.
So the combination I have here, some squid that we'll cook up first.
Okay.
Let me get this on as usual to heat it up. Some clams, mussels, shrimp. A little bit of everything.
And they all cook so quickly, right? Seafood cooks so quickly, which is nice.
So it's a fairly quick and easy dish. I'm going to start, this is one squid here, one small squid. So I'm going to start by just sauteing that up quickly, just to get that cooked first.
So just a little bit of oil and that's it, no seasoning, just cook.
We'll just do a little bit of oil right now because we have all these other flavors that are going to go in the tomato broth, and we'll cook the rest of the seafood actually in the sauce.
Okay.
But let's get this going. This doesn't take very long to cook, just a couple minutes or so. And I'll talk you through what we're going to put in the sauce. We'll do it in the same pan. Some garlic, shallots, kind of my favorite base for every sauce. And we'll deglaze with some white wine. We have bay leaf, a little bit of chili flakes, and just a can or two of diced tomatoes.
So I mean, it's actually, you know, when you look at it, it's relatively healthy, right? It is. I mean, seafood is very, very low fat, and tomatoes are so good for you. And you're putting all that garlic and shallots, and that's a good dish. And then you add some good old white baguette, and it's gonna be good afterwards. That's what we dip in afterwards, right? To kind of
get up all that sauce.
Love it.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Perfect.
So simple. So, like I said, this doesn't take.
Oh wow, yeah, that just cooked so quickly.
Very long. You can see it. You don't want it to overcook, so we'll just do that lightly because it'll go back in the hot sauce after. Okay.
Slippery little guys.
Yeah. Okay. Woo. So the pan is nice and hot now for our garlic and shallot. So we'll add those into the same pan.
Okay.
No reason why we can't do that. There we go. All right, so just cook that for a moment, and then we have about 3/4 of a cup of white wine we'll deglaze it with.
Okay. So again, you can use, you're using table wine, right, for this, but you can use any white wine.
Yep.
Sometimes people like to use the wine that they're going to be drinking with afterwards. That kind of carries the flavors over, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's always kind of nice.
Yeah, and you know what? You could use red for this too, just because of the tomatoes. The sauce is red anyways.
Okay.
So
I would have thought about that.
Yeah, red would go very well with this as well. Okay, so just lightly saute that till it becomes fragrant, just for a minute or two. Okay. At this time, okay, we'll deglaze at this time. So nice and hot. You want to hear it sizzle so the wine cooks off. And we'll just simmer that for a moment. Add in the bay at this time. Just for a little extra flavor. Just remember to remove that later because
that's never
you don't want to eat that. And a little bit of chili flakes. For a little bit of punch, we can add salt and pepper at this time as well.
Okay.
Our seasonings, and you can always adjust it later at the end.
And herbs. What herbs are you using today?
So I'm going to use thyme and oregano.
Okay.
Italian herbs go nice with this Italian style dish. Smells good already. So everything's all nice.
Whenever you add the wine,
there.
whether it's white or red, it just the flavors just sort of softens everything, and it's really nice. Okay,
very nice. Okay, so at this time let's add in herbs. I'm going to finish it off with herbs too, but we can just add those in now, and we'll add in the broth as well.
So add all your so you're using canned chopped tomatoes with the juice as well.
With the juice,
including that in. Okay.
Let's see. All right. So that's great. So now we can add in our seafood. We'll just get that simmering for a moment.
Okay.
Mix it up really well. Make sure all the flavors are kind of mixed together. And just bring it up to a simmer. Then we add in the seafood. So I think we're going to start with the clams first. Now, like we've talked about in the past, you just want to tap them, make sure they close. When they close, you know that they're still alive. You want clams and mussels to be still alive when you're cooking them. If they don't move, they're not alive anymore, and you want to discard those. Same with when they're when they're done cooking. They're closed when you put them in. And they don't open.
Yeah, then it's opposite, right?
Then it's opposite, right?
So,
they're closed, so maybe they...
So you want them to open once they're cooking. And if they don't open, then you get rid of them at the end.
Right, yep. So it's a simple rule. So we'll add in these now. And they, like you said, don't take long at all. You'll see within a couple minutes, they'll start to open. Once the clams have been in for a couple minutes, then we'll add the mussels. I don't think the mussels take quite as long. So we'll add the mussels in there, and then remove them out, put them in with the squid, and then we can add the shrimp in last.
Okay.
The shrimp will only take a minute or two. Again, seafood, fresh seafood like this does not take long at all.
Now with the shrimp, do you have shells on these ones? No, these have been deshelled.
So deshelled, but again, as we've talked about before when we were dealing with seafood, I did leave the tail on.
Right.
And that's solely for presentation purposes.
And you're right, it does look kind of, it does. I find is, you know what, in something like this, you don't want to have a shell in there because it just gets mucky. So at least a tail's easy to take off.
Right.
But a whole shell and trying to peel them when they're covered in tomato sauce, that's just a messy date. That's what that is.
That's true.
You don't want any of that.
If you're just making this at home, then I would suggest just take it all off.
Make it easy.
For you, Leslie, I want to make it pretty.
Aw, thank you.
So we'll leave them on for now.
Sweet.
All right.
All right, yeah, that's smelling good. So next, eventually, we're just going to work all these in there.
Yep.
And then once they're cooked, it's done, right? That's it?
Exactly.
That's it. Once the seafood's cooked, it's done. Right. So what we're going to do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll let Rachel continue to add the seafood, and we'll come back and we'll plate it. And that's a nice, easy recipe. I would have thought that was a lot more difficult. We'll be right back.
Simple.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Why don't my vegetables look like yours? They're only meters from here. They're in the same soil, same light. I water them.
But do you feed them?
Excuse me?
Try feeding them Miracle Grow.
Plants grow by feeding on nutrients from the soil. Shake and Feed replenishes your soil all season long with a balanced blend of nutrients.
You're welcome to help yourself. You too, Claire. I'm a giver.
You are?
Yeah.
Miracle Grow. You feed, they flourish.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, and we are finishing up our mixed seafood. What did you call mixed seafood?
In a herb tomato broth.
Herb tomato broth. There you go. Broth, that's what we're going with. So basically we were kind of waiting on the clams. Of course, as you were mentioning, they take a little bit longer to open.
Yeah.
Finally, everything opened up. You took everything out, separated it.
I did.
You don't have to, but you did that. You're probably more for presentation purposes for you too, right?
Right, yeah. I decided to take everything out. As I'm doing now, and then we can divide it nicely amongst the.
Sure. Plus, you do not want your seafood to overcook, right? So that's definitely one thing you don't want.
Right. Okay. Slippery, guys. Okay. So now from here we can just, put what we want in each bowl. So we know each person gets a little bit of everything, and then we'll just pour the broth on top. And I've got some bread that I started to slice up, so that'll go nice just to sop up all that extra sauce on the bottom.
That's perfect. Well, I mean, really, you don't have any other carbs in here, so might as well put a little bread. You could go with multigrain bread too.
Yeah,
you could.
The healthier version.
This is good. Awesome, and that's it basically, right? It's all seasoned, it's herbed, and you're gonna add maybe a few little extra herbs on the end just to kind of make it look pretty. But I mean, that's nice and straightforward. And again, you know what? It's a nice meal. It's a light meal, and very, very healthy. Oh, it smells amazing with that white wine in there. It smells so good.
There we go.
This is great. Oh, perfect. And of course, again, you can find all of Chef Rachel's recipes on our website, terragreenhouses.com, and again, all of them are on there. And please join us every Saturday morning at 5:30. And again, we always have really great things to teach you about, great things coming out of the greenhouses as well, and oh, fantastic things. Only you could smell this. Thanks so much. This looks awesome.
You're welcome.
Very good dish.
Thanks.
All right, that's it for now, and we'll see you again next Saturday.